Hi, and welcome to Yarmouth Frame Shop and Gallery Conversations. Tonight we're with John Bowdren. He is an artist and a sculptor. He works in acrylic and oil, mostly on canvas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
panel, and mostly landscapes and boats.
The coastal scene.
The coastal
yeah.
scenes. So this one in particular I find very interesting. The paddle, the boat. It's called The Guy, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about this piece.
Well, it was on a windjammer trip, and I worked from photographs and sketching, but this was a photograph of late afternoon, the sun streaming in. And I have a illustration background, so I'll edit things, add islands or houses or trees. So he was like this.
So he didn't have a paddle.
He didn't have a paddle, his arm was broken. But I wanted some way to connect him with the horizon. Just bring him back, to not leave him out here on this island in a way. And then also catch the light nice. So, and I try to, with people, try to pull a story on either end. You know, is he with someone waiting for them, or is he at the end of the day and he's got a long pull back? Or,
it does evoke a lot of questions.
So,
I mean, it's got a very quiet feel, which is another thing that I hear about your work all the time. It's it does have a nice quiet solitude, and you're kind of a quiet, fun, dry kind of guy. So is that some of you going through here?
Yeah, a lot of and I respond to the light, and a lot of it's that time of day when it just pick out a sail or a boat or tops of trees and just like sort of catch me. I'm sort of looking to get surprised, and they come around a corner.
You really do have to feel it, don't you, to want to paint it.
And that sort of resonance, the light becomes sort of diffused, and things merge and stand out. So there's a lot going on in terms of the atmosphere.
Do you work a lot from photographs, or is it linear for you?
No, mostly from photographs, but I try to do a little sketch to get in the muscle memory of what it was that caught my eye about the scene. And just a basic, but then for the bones of it, work mostly from photographs.
You work big too, all different sizes.
I do, and the bigger, I'll tend to leave more space. I like a good composition and play with that. So, and another trick from another painter was to sort of get rid of the horizon, and not so much here, like go that way.
Oh, one. We'll get over there in a minute.
And just that focuses you into the water, and to let the sky be in the water, so you're playing with the light in the water.
Well, I know, being here in the gallery at night when we turn the lights down, your water looks like it moves. It does. It's like you could just jump into it. You can actually almost hear the waves lapping. And I think that's probably why your pieces are so popular. It really reflects Maine in all of its simplicity and warmth.
And in the painting, there's a lot of back and forth, especially acrylics, of trying to just get that right value, and where it sings a little bit or pushes back, and like you said, moves. So.
Do you tend to hang on to paintings in the studio, or do you feel like you can produce them one at a time, or how do you? What's your process in the studio?
No, I'll work on about 10 plus paintings at a time, and I'll start them and then pretty much turn them around to the wall and leave them for a little bit, and either to dry or and then a couple weeks later turn it around and see if I'm still having the same response to it.
Well, that's a good idea.
If that's not what I was thinking. And,
but maybe you see something else that will be closer to what you were thinking that you could do to it. Is that part of your process to do that?
Because I'll get intense, and then I need a little space mental space to let it settle in, or talk back to me.
Do you look for the asymmetrical in your paintings? Because I've had a couple of mathematicians come into the gallery and say, I wonder if he realizes his work is just like slightly off. You know, mathematically, it's really put well put together.
Yeah.
Is that conscious?
It is in a way, just a matter of feel.
Yeah.
Off center, especially the bigger things where something's just by itself, and try to, you know, have the eye, have some space, and then concentrate there, but then to let it float back. So, yeah, I'm very bad at that. but it's a matter of instinct, and I'll do that a little bit in the photographic thing. In the past, I've done with a slide projector or a digital projector, will project a big image of like a harbor scene or a landscape, and then find a painting within that.
Oh yeah.
So just, oh, this section looks interesting, and then, so I'll do that now on a computer with cropping.
Computers are great for
yeah,
that.
because you can work pretty big, and then just zoom around and play with, you know,
size.
Good squares, look good, you know.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, it's a new, it's been around a while, but a tool for.
Oh, it's a good tool.
Yeah.
It really works well for you. Your other love is sculpture.
Yes, that's.
Yes, that's like
8-10 years. And
totally different
yeah.
than painting.
Yeah.
And we can move over here to show off the sparrow. Swallow.
Just
Swallow.
quickly with the,
Yes.
in terms of getting rid of the horizon, I think it was
these
Neil.
are two very good examples.
I was listening to a talk by Neil Welliver, and he was like, yeah, just get rid of the horizon, and it focuses the attention away from that line.
Yeah, and it does add a very quiet, even more so, feel to it, because there's very little going on.
Right. And I like this is also, I like a little bit of man-made within the environment, or an echo of what people, especially boats, that reflects their personalities, or, you know, they maintain it, you know, this or that. And in this case, you know, there's sort of the wild out here, and this is sheltered and calm. So.
And slightly off.
Right. Yeah, if it was centered, it would be.
It wouldn't be the same feel.
Yeah, I mean, almost like a little constellation.
Yeah, it's nice.
Plant, yeah.
Orbit there.
But the sculpture is a lot more edited.
So pretty.
And it's basically ideas of, in this case, flight, or weather vane thing. And I really like the old tradition of, you know, the wood, the figureheads, and even the scars of Indians, and
so you get to do a little piece of that.
Yeah, things that stay out in the weather, and they have sort of a life of their own and change.
So yes, these can be indoor or out.
Yeah. And the gold leaf, this is 24 karat gold leaf, so
Over Spanish
cedar. But I usually work in mahogany.
You can just imagine if it was out there in the
wind
breeze. You must catch them very beautifully.
But that's interesting working reductive, where you're taking away things.
Yeah.
I love working from big blocks, and so it's a little more thinking and feeling around the block, and work a little. In the beginning, it took a long time because you're like, but now it's a little more, okay, I can do that.
Is this life size?
A little bigger, I think, than
A little
life
bigger?
size, just for
the dramatic impact.
And that was a flock of about 20 of them, of about 6 or 7 different basic poses, and then they would alter so different angles.
Well, you also do abstract, which we don't have a sample of, but sculpture.
Yeah.
Very nice. So maybe next time we can have an example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do quite well with those as well.
Yeah. And that's, again, editing or pairing things sort of down to they're trying to get what the essence of it is. In this case, there's no eyes or feathers. I'm really just looking at the silhouette and how it moves, and how the light catches it.
That's It's going to catch it beautifully with a gold leaf.
Yeah, especially in the winter in Maine here, when everything's sort of gray and brown, it adds a nice sort of little musical note to the, or highlight to the environment. It's just, oh, there it is.
Yeah, definitely. Very nice. So, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your artistic experience?
Just it's a wonderful process and a learning, you know, and discovery yourself and the environment. I was an illustrator.
You've been in the business really for quite a while.
Yeah, and moved here about 20 years ago, and you started looking around. You're like, oh, a little more interesting than drawing toothpaste tubes. And so, you know, oh, wow, you know, so. Just like I have the Gazetteer, which is a local map, and just look for the little public boat put-ins, and I'll wander the coast. And,
oh, that's a great idea.
And you know, it's usually my subject is at the end of some street somewhere. Huh.
Because you do travel quite a bit here in Maine, around the coast. You visited quite a few places. Yeah, it's nice. Lovely, lovely thing to do. Thank you, John, very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us.